Good day, sir.
Good day, madam.
Mistress. Lucy Barrow, the alewife.
Red McWraith, the Banisher. Alewife, is it? I'd never have guessed from looking at you.
And what does an alewife look like, Mr. Banisher?
She's got you there.
Tell me about yourself.
What are you, the census taker? I'm Lucy Barrow. I'm earnest, proud, clever. I was the brains, he was... well, he was there. And if you call me Widow Barrow, I'll fetch my shears.
What brought you to New Eden?
Freedom. Prosperity. The chance to watch good Puritan men drink...
Now, I happen to know that the alewife hears stories.
Want a story, do you? All right. Recently, I saw Phoebe Walcott walking strangely. She was hiding something under her coat. I don't know what it was, but she went into her barn, and when she came out, she no longer had it. I've seen her repeat the deed on several occasions. Not that I'm counting, nor that I care.
How's life in the Harrows? As sweet as you would wish?
When is life as sweet as one could wish?
Well, that depends on how you define
Sweeter ale sells better. But the sweetness...
Tell me about the governor. Not a big ale drinker, I imagine.
Sadly, no. Perhaps if he had been, he might not have been such an arseworm. He's a man he prize. Comes calling to check the contents of my pot. I am a woman of brains and means, but despite that, nay.
What can you tell me about Lamentation?
I hardly know him. He doesn't talk much. I suspect he's smart. He's a little boy. Adorable, of course. What do you need?
I'll take my leave.
Have a good day.
Governor.
May I help you, Mr. McWraith?
I have to admit, this is an unusual case.
Yes, but have you solved it?
I believe so. But the culprit was not responsible for the plague. At least not directly.
Have you found the witch or have you not?
Someone here has been dabbling in some dark magic. I have the name.
So, what are you waiting for?
Don't you want to hear the name?
I do not need to. The principle is what matters.
Not exactly. The name is Lamentation Haskell.
No, it can't be. My son is studious. Curious, too curious at times perhaps, but he does not have a bad bone in his heart.
He showed Caleb Watson a ritual. The cobbler used it and became possessed.
Even if true, it would only mean my son was exposed to corruption. It happened before. Bring me proof, Banisher. Find the real source of evil.
I'll get it. Mark me. I must find your son, Governor. Sooner rather than later.
His interests take him hither and thither. If he isn't here, he must be working on the outskirts. He's been sprucing up one of the abandoned houses there. I ordered them emptied when the sickness hit. Here, take the gate key. Go there. See for yourself. You're wrong about him. You're wrong about my son. Needless to say that I count, of course, on your discretion.
He was quick to condemn till it was his own son on the block. Who's he really protecting?
We'll bring him the proof he wants. If the boy is guilty, his father may not be able to protect him.
What could I do for you, banisher who banishes?
Telling me?
You mind your goods.
Hell's balls. What happened here?
Something's emanating from under there.
No wonder this place is off limits.
Try this on.
Run, Red!
One of these must be Lammy's family. Lammy, you here? You were studying botany? Why botany?
These roots are too strong to be removed.
I'm gonna try my hand at them anyway.
Wards, you're on your own. Can you find a way around the locked door?
Perhaps there's a key. Arrowloo. Mean anything to you?
Not a thing.
He mentioned an old mill. Seemed fascinated by the place. The incisions are clean. The precision of an expert.
There's magic here, though faint.
Nothing incriminating. Yet.
Remember what we found? On that Caleb Watson's? Maybe we're not looking in the right place. If I had something to hide, I might hide it in an abandoned mill.
They brought more friends.
Make a run for it!
Something lingers here that did not leave. We're not alone.
There's more of them. Time for my soul.
Get out of there!
Get lost, won't you?
Move it!
Wee Highland kiss for you. Why a mill?
Away from the village. Perfect for his research. Perfect to hide secrets.
He's not out here for pleasure, that's for sure.
This place feels different. Something lingers here.
Could be Alexander, or Caleb for all we know.
Now would be a good time to speak a few words of power, just to be sure.
I could summon whatever's hiding here with the proper item.
We could get something that belonged to Alexander and something from Caleb. Something prized.
Let's check the workshop for anything left.
No, not now.
was winning. I was winning. Looks derelict. Is he really inside?
What hides here in the dark? Come out, come out.
Deja vu.
He tried his hand at several translations.
This relay lad seems dangerous.
His apprentice seems to be following him down the same path.
So, what are you hiding in here, evil spawn?
Glancing at the original writing, Lami's work was poor. No wonder the ritual he spawned for Caleb from those botched words of power went wrong. More ghost wards. Someone was being extra careful.
He doesn't speak well of his dad.
He thought he was better. That's not a particularly difficult task, in fairness.
We need to get to the top floor. Bet we'll find something.
You need to see this.
Should be useful. That book, again.
The Agrippa. That's not good. Not good at all.
What level of not good are we talking about exactly?
This book promises eternal life, but the promise is a trap. Let's hope it hasn't been used.
It's just a lift. Why is this mechanism so complex?
More magic muckery. Not necromancy, though. He tried to hide his presence from something dangerous. Something related to the Agrippa.
The lift should work now. All this is more serious than we thought. I'm apprehensive, and not just because we're going underground.
We'll be careful. We don't know what Lammy was up to. And the signs are not encouraging.
You know, I could get to like it underground. The darkness, the gloom, the cool air.
Really?
No, not really. Not at all. Creeping ivy again.
As invasive as regular weeds.
Hellspawn. Another sorrow used as a guardian.
Focus on the pillars around us.
be free soon enough, you bastard.
Heads up!
Aim at the pillars.
Careful! Careful!
Time to release these poor souls.
When all this is over, I might retire.
You'd miss it. You know you would. Over here. Look. Dead animals, again. Different symbols and magic. Seems they were used as bait. Is this how we got through the Sorrow's vigilance? I know. I can't seem to get a good grasp on the spectral fabric.
Left.
So, here we are.
I suppose now we step into the void.
Suppose we do. dark rituals, void breach, general weirdness. Lemmy can't be far.
Wards. I'm going to need a hand here.
The wards worked well enough. You didn't need to kill so many birds.
Demonologists use necromancy. Maybe he thought he'd bring them back when he was...
It's awfully calm. Why is it awfully calm? Here you are.
Here I am. Wards, you're on your own. Spectres. They haven't noticed us. Stay low.
Have some of this.
Wards. I'm going to need a hand here.
We had in case for you. Away with you.
Creepy hideout. The governor's spawn likes a bit of drama.
This one's different. Looks like it died diseased. This is some dark, sideways magic.
It's forbidden. I've read it.
Sometimes I worry about you. Ugh. What is this thing?
Banisher rule number 4.
If it oozes, don't touch it. Another botched experiment?
It may be native to the void. So, you can see me. Aren't you full of surprises, young Master Haskell?
You may talk. A Banisher ghost. Amazing. How on God's earth did you find me? Never mind that. Thank the Lord you did. Thought I was going to grow old in here.
As hiding places go, the void is quite the choice.
Yes, an amazing place. Or plane? World? The Araloo is not easily described, but it makes a fascinating study. Tell me, how did you get past the Guardian beneath the mill? Did you use a decoy?
We fought it. Don't change the subject.
You fought it? Of course you did. A good thing too. I was starting to think it was wise to me tricks. Oh, but I have so many questions.
This isn't a social call, kid. And we're the ones with the questions.
Oh. Oh. Of course.
We must talk of Caleb Watson. Why in the hell would you give him a resurrection ritual?
Ruth's death hit poor Caleb hard. He was alone, and so I would often stop by his workshop. We talked. He took a keen interest in my studies and was a good listener. When he learned that she could possibly return, he had one question. How?
You saw his grief as an opportunity to test the effects of the lesser palingenesis.
Oh. You know the ritual too? Amazing, isn't it?
I've studied it. The actual ritual, not the mangled version you gave Caleb.
Yes, and I'm sorry. I found it in a copy of Die Occulte Philosophia by Cornelius Agrippa von Nettersheim. A remarkable book.
I've met my fair share of illustrious occultists, and none owned an authentic Agrippa. Much is lost in translation or altered in the printing. I doubt your copy is an exception.
Of course! The power is in the words, and mine were wrong, so the power went awry. How very fascinating.
Are you aware of what would happen if people learnt of your studies?
Surely the acquisition of knowledge cannot be a sin.
Do you remember Deborah?
Miss Comenius. Yes, of course, I remember.
Your father tasked us with an investigation. One way or the other, we must return with the mystery solved.
Ah. I think I understand what you're saying. I might be in a tiny little bit of, danger.
From the looks of this place, you're knee-deep in research. What are you doing here exactly?
Searching for the origin of the Harrow's plague, of course. And I have a theory on the subject.
Of course you do. Go on then.
Now, at first, I believed the water poisoned, but my father sealed the well, and yet folk remained sick. They looked for witchcraft, a foolish, uneducated suspicion, yes, but with some truth concealed behind it. You see, the Araloo taints New Eden. Its influence leaches into the Harrows. The evidence is everywhere.
By the Araloo, do you mean the void?
Neither name does it justice. This place is beyond words. The Araloo, Mr. McCraith, is made of the very fabric of our primordial myths. Isn't it amazing?
How can you be sure the void has tainted the region?
In New Eden, the threshold between our plane and this is thin. Even I, a novice, may reach the frontier and then go beyond. I also believe it happened before. Some years ago, New Eden was hit by another epidemic.
Was it the same illness?
I believe that first epidemic was caused by the porosity of the frontier between New Eden and the Araloo. Although, where theirs was an affliction of burning flesh, ours is a corruption of mind and spirit. And I believe I have found its source. There is a substance, a strange ooze. You may have noticed it. This, I believe, is the true source of the Harrow's poison. It carries a particular stink, on the scent of which I experience first confusion, then a loss of control over my limbs.
What do you expect to find at the source of the ooze?
To find a cure. The ooze seeps into our world, sickening us. I may be able to stop it. Unfortunately, I cannot reach the source. The Araloo is a formidable place. Tricky. A maze constantly evolving, changing, reshaping itself. The isthmus, for example. I found an oozing crack in the ground. The terrain then remade itself, and I can get to it no longer.
Perhaps we might be able to find a way through and take a look at that source.
Would you? That would be splendid. Would you mind taking notes?
You see ghosts. You stroll the void as if it were your garden. You possess and share forbidden rituals. Who are you really?
I'm Lammy Haskell, and I'm a man of many sciences. I am in fact a true pursuer.
That raises more questions than it answers.
What are the pillars of the universe? Which principles underpin existence? As occultists, do we change the world or scratch upon its surface? Each discipline I embrace peels back a new layer of reality. I'm yet at the beginning and see where I already stand. Amazing, no?
You did not find the void breach beneath the mill by accident. You had help. Who taught you?
I did my research.
Suddenly, you're a man of few words.
I'd rather not involve those not present. Discretion, you understand.
Your father is convinced a witch poisoned his well. Caleb Watson was cursed by a ritual you gave him. I'd focus if I were you.
We must counter the devil with knowledge of his tricks. That, my father always said, is the purest of God's work.
Aye. I can imagine your father saying that.
When I was 10, he gave me my initiation. Demonology, sir, as he would say. He saw me as his heir. Then of a sudden, the books were forbidden. So I stole them. The very same books he'd forced upon me as a boy. I understand them where he does not. I did no wrong, apart from a little theft.
You've studied demonology. Did you do it alone?
When my father forbade me to continue, I confess I disobeyed him in secret. Those big books were very boring until they were forbidden. Suddenly I could not get enough of their secret knowledge. Funny, eh? More recently, a good friend of my father showed me that I had only been scratching at the surface.
Who was your father's friend?
An itinerant Frenchman who often visited New Eden in recent years. He called himself a true pursuer. As a thinker, he was prolific and profound. My father was so proud to be included in his discourse. For him, knowledge is the ladder to greatness, and greatness is the prize. To me, knowledge is itself the prize.
Let's go take a closer look at that ooze then.
And with that sorrow gone, I can leave. Do be careful. My home is your home. If you need anything, help yourself.
The Araloo is not your home, Lammy. But thank you.
Pardon my morbid enthusiasm, Mistress Duarte. Could I ask you a few questions?
What do you wish to know?
Do you still need to eat? Do you feel hunger? Sorry, it's just for the first ghost I've met.
Antea, we should get going. So, the pious governor's unassuming son is our evil Harrow's witch.
I was as earnest as he. Ah, the rank enthusiasm of youth. It's sickening, really. I don't know that I buy Lammy's hair of the dog theory, but I feel strange, and I suspect the ooze.
Oh, God. I need a wee bit of help here. Well, that was not pleasant. Not pleasant at all.
I am warded. I cannot. Wards, you're on your own. I'm back.
At long last.
Don't let it crush you.
It oozes through the breach, suppurates like a festering wound.
How delightful.
Let's see what lies on the other side. Where are we now?
Underground, looks like.
Wonderful.
The ooze affects the incarnate, too. Who goes there?
Is that a ghost?
I don't know. But I don't think we're alone. What might you be then?
What was...
Oh, shite.
Did you just say shite? You? It's bigger than I thought it'd be.
Is that a house from the Harrows?
We may be below the well.
No wonder they all got sick.
I feel a draft.
From the invisible.
This house belonged to a certain Antipas and Clemency Gibbs. Their land was barren. They were struggling for money.